So, very good morning to you all. Today we are here to discuss one of the topic of supply chain and logistics management of MBA third semester, Unit 5. Then the topic is supply chain sustainability. I am Dr. Hitesh Singhal, your instructor. I'll take you towards the understanding about this topic, and we'll discuss few more important aspects of the sustainability of supply chain in the forthcoming slides. So let us start the topic. Number one, sustainability. First, we have to understand what is the meaning of the word sustainability. We usually write it like supply chain sustainability, but first we should understand what is the meaning of the word sustainability here, so that we can understand what does it mean if we combine this word with supply chain. So, as per the dictionary meaning, the ability to be maintained at a certain rate or level, the sustainability, like sustainability of economic growth. If you mean that is ability to sustain something, sustain a level, sustain a constant level, sustain a certain rate of, or a certain level, maybe like sustainability of your economic growth. So this is the word dictionary meaning. Maybe there are a few other meanings like avoidance of the depletion of natural resources in order to maintain an ecological balance. So the first word is generally to mean sustain, to retain, to have a common level. And the second meaning is we should avoid the depletion of natural resources in order to maintain ecological balance. So the second meaning is related to environment. Second meaning is related to the ecological balance, natural resources, and not to, uh, you can say, exhaust the natural resources for your own purpose. So the second meaning is directly related to ecological balance or environment, or maybe maybe to save your earth, like this. So the pursuit of global environments is called sustainability. That is the again the meaning. Now, what which meaning is going to take you for towards with supply chain? So obviously we'll consider both the meanings simultaneously. So sustainability, the meaning of the word sustainability comes out to be like this. It is the ability to exist constantly. That is, in 21st century, its meaning is it refers like this. It's generally to the capacity for the biosphere and human civilization to coexist. We are living in this earth, animals, plants, and maybe small animals, small plants, big plants, all remain natural resources. We should live in this earth, on this earth, and with the coexistence. We are there, they are there. Without water, without these plants, animal, we cannot exist. Similarly, without we, without as a human, without human, these animals cannot be exist. So therefore, the sustainability meaning of the word sustainability means we should coexist. We should coexist in this earth, on this earth, so that we can maintain, we can retain, or we can have a constant um, level of existence in this earth, on this if we talk about human civilization. So we'll take you this particular definition with supply chain. So if we combine this particular word with supply chain, it comes out to be like this, that we should coexist, because in supply chain there are a number of stakeholder involved in between, starting from manufacturer, distributor, supplier, retailer, then customer. So we should coexist. We should adopt such practices in supply chain, so that we should coexist in this environment. So this is particularly the meaning of the word supply chain sustainability here. So now comes to the joint definition, joint meaning of the word supply chain sustainability. So supply chain sustainability, acronyms like SCS, is a holistic view of supply chain processes, logistics, and technologies that addresses the environment, social, economic, and legal aspect of supply chains component. So it's work like a holistic view. We should like there's one important word, coexistence. Please remember this word here, coexistence. Coexistence means whether you are not entirely depending upon logistics. You should not work only with technologies. You should not only work with the environment, only social, only economic, only with legal. It is not possible. You should you should coexist with all your stakeholders, and as well as your company, your society, your economic environment, your legal environment, and obviously the entire ecosystem. So sustainability means the coexistence and the holistic view of supply chain processes, because it is a and if any link going to be weak in this chain, so obviously this chain will not work. So what we do, we should maintain an ecological system. We should maintain a sustainability of each link together. They should be joined together, strong obviously, so that the entire chain will work as a as a as a in a single unit. So factors that affect SCS includes amount of waste, carbon footprints, carbon emission, air pollution, labor laws, labor violation, deforestation, health and safety of the workers, and so on and so forth. So these are few factors. If we talk about sustainability, means we should cut waste, we should maintain the carbon footprints, we should minimize the carbon footprint, minimize carbon emission. Obviously, it could not be zero, because you have to produce something to your sustainability, but it should be minimized. It should be as minimized that you should maintain a level in the environment. Air pollution is to be controlled. Labor violation means you are not to put your workers into some hazardous or some risky kind of chemicals or risky kind of environment. Deforestation, you should innovate yourself, your company should innovate yourself, so that you should minimize the deforestation. Obviously it could not be zero. And health and safety of your workers. So these are a few factors. Obviously we'll have few more text in the next few slides, but these are a few factors. So SCS is based on the principle that socially responsible products and practices, socially responsible products. So this is one of this meaning is this is very heavy, you can say, term, socially responsible product. So as a company, you should produce a product that is socially responsible. Socially responsible means it should minimize the harm. It should either minimize or no harm to the society as a ecosystem, or maybe human or animals. And practices like in few movies, you may see like there is a quote running in on the bottom of this slide, that we are not practice this particular on a particular scene on real animals. So what they are doing nowadays, they are using digital copy of the animals, digital digital camera. They are creating virtual animal on the screen, so that they could not harm the animals also. So the socially responsible products and practices are not only good for the planet and the people who live here. Not only people, animal, birds, whatever. So they are also good for building positive brand awareness. See the commercial aspect of this particular sustainability. You are creating a positive brand awareness. People maybe take your product seriously, take your company seriously, that you are socially responsible organization. Okay, and minimizing environmental impact and improving long-term profitability. It's a long-term profitability. It's not only a short-term profitability, it's a long-term profitability. Maybe in recent coming years you may not directly get some profit, but obviously in long term you will definitely get profits. And this profit is not obviously the financial profits. There are brand awareness, brand building, positive brand image, or maybe your own satisfaction. That is sustainability. So an organization supply chain connects input to output, outlining the process of producing and delivering consumer goods. Focusing on supply chain is one aspect of achieving business sustainability. So, achieving business sustainability, supply chain is one aspect. There are several other aspects. Production, manufacturing is different thing. Distribution is again an issue. There are a number of other aspects. So this could include identifying the source of raw material or surveying the condition of workers involved in every process. So starting from identification of source of raw material to the manufacturer to delivery to the delivery to the end customer. So in entire chain, you need to have your sustainability. You need to work on sustainability. Okay. As a company, you work on sustainability, but your vendor, your supplier, your distributor, your manufacturer, they all should have um, commitment toward the sustainability. Historically, if we talk about previous data, previous historical literature, historically supply chain was simply about logistics and knowing when and where product are moving. So simply, supply chain previously was very well known as logistics only, that is moving product from one place to another. But the rise of digital supply chain and accompanying visibility and analytics tool with advancement in technology has provided companies with the ability to gather more data with them and use that data uh, or well each component in the supply chain to demonstrate corporate social responsibility. Now you have technology, now you have big data, now you have digital supply chain practices, now you have analytical tools. So use these techniques, tools and techniques um, to not only show the not only demonstrate the CSR responsibility, but also you should practice those responsibility. So this transparency has promoted the concept of reasonable sourcing and encourage supply chain partners to develop and share best practices for green operations and logistics. As we discussed earlier, that you not only you it's you not only it's you that you are using supply sustainable practices, but your entire chain, including your partners, your stakeholders, your vendor, supplier, and so on. It has also allowed prospective partners to demonstrate compliance with industry's best standards for worker safety, environmental protection, and business ethics. Okay, so you should demonstrate that you are complying, you are maintaining, you are following the laws, you are following the legal ecosystem, legal system of your country, that you are following the best standards towards worker safety, towards environmental protection, and business ethics also. Now, how to improve supply chain sustainability for an organization? It is a question that how to improve your sustainability. So there are a few points like identifying critical issues and areas of improvement within entire supply chain. You should identify the critical issues, areas of improvement, where uh, which is very important for your supply chain. The environmental impact of supply chain is a culmination of each step in the production and operation process. So therefore, companies should understand where the most emissions and risks are located in order to improve. Okay. So first of all, you should identify the critical issues and areas of improvement. Maybe you are very good in producing something, but your effectiveness, your emission, your carbon emission is much more than your competitor. So you identify your weak areas, identify your critical areas, and the areas of improvement. That is number one thing. Number two, use supply chain management and measurement tools. As we discussed in SCORE model, SCOR model, that there are different measurement tools, there are different performance management tools to help track progress and find weaknesses. Okay, organizations such as the Sustainable Consortium, World Wildlife Fund, and Sustainable Accounting Standards boards have created Sustainable Account Standard Board have created guidelines and key performance indicators that can help consumer business move towards their environmental goals. So, in what type of organization you are, there are number of um, you can say organization above you, those who set the standards for maintaining this particular sustainability. So you should follow those standards. So set supply chain sustainability goals and reflecting global sustainability goals. Not It's not only national, it's global also. Companies should model efforts around scientific recommendations and government regulations to contribute the greatest impact to the global sustainability agenda, sustainability agenda, and move towards being carbon neutral. That you are minimizing the carbon emission. You are going to produce the product, no, obviously, but you are emitting minimum level of carbon in the environment. Okay, so you should follow all those government regulations. Whether, for example, in case of NCR, there is NGT, National Green Tribunal, and there are many more other pollution control board, and you can say environmental protection act. There are a number of government regulations are being there, but you should follow those standards, number one, and recommend and follow the recommendation of scientific organizations. Next, how to improve this sustainability, that now choose and collaborate with other sustainable supplier. Suppose you are having a bunch of four suppliers and you have to select anyone. So choose a particular supplier which is or that is more responsible toward the environment, that is more sustainable, that is more serious toward the environment. So the practices of collaborating and combination of resources between manufacturers can help organization to reduce waste, reduce cost and environmental risk. For example, sharing modes of delivery can reduce pollution by ensuring multiple half-empty vehicles are not sent out to the same direction. Obviously, if one big container is moving from one place to another place and it is half empty, and then you should try to fill it completely, so that ultimately you should do some small steps to buy. You are following some small step to reduce pollution. So that is there. Maintaining accountability throughout the process. You should fix the accountability of your partners, of your supplier, vendor, and all link. Processes that can be put in place to ensure liability are routine audits, implementation of sustainability programs and teams, software tools, and track impact and customer facing goals and progress report. So you should maintain and fix the responsibility and accountability through routine audits, implementation of some software, teams, programs, and other reports. So purchase carbon offsets. If you are producing more carbon and your competitor are producing less carbon, so uh, you can sign a particular contract with your uh, competitor that both of you are uh, maintaining the minimum level of carbon, and you should buy some carbon credits to your partner, to your competitor, those who those who are emitting less amount of carbon. So these carbon credits helps negate an organization's carbon emission by investing in environmental friendly initiatives. Okay, but while following these standards, while following sustainability rules, while following these regulations, there are a few challenges also there. One of the challenges like tragedy of commons. It is like a buzzword. It's like acronyms. You can say not only acronyms, like phrase that is popularly used in this context. That is, what is that? Let's discuss. Every company and supply chain face the challenges of the tragedy of commons. What is that? It operates on a global environment. They must compete against each other that may be extracting benefit from the environmental or resource commons without spending to maintain these commons. So all of the organization, maybe you or your organization, maybe your competitors' organization, all are extracting the same benefit from the environment, same resources from the nature, and actually these resources are common to all of them. But the tragedy is they must compete into the market. But customers are often value low cost product and are not willing to pay the price more, not willing to pay more prices for sustainable solution. Okay, if you are saying that plastic is don't use plastics, and the another option is a little bit costly, maybe use of jute bags, maybe cost of 50 to 100 rupees, but plastic cost of few rupees, 1 or 2 or 5 rupees. So most of the customers, not I'm not saying all the customers, most of the customers are not going toward the costly solutions and are not willing to pay the price for these sustainable solution. Okay, either in the form of higher prices or reduced consumption. Okay, so this is one of the tragedy. This is one of the tragedy that customers are not willing to pay higher prices for sustainable solutions. So there are different other methods for for tackle this situation. Either either you are forcefully ban one of the product, either you put some fine over the customers, okay, or either maybe you try to minimize the price of that alternative solution. So unless all consumers suddenly change their mindset, it is difficult for the company to imagine or a sustainable solution emerging without some intervention. So it's consumer mindset. Consumer is not ready to pay the price for the sustainable solution. So there should be another kind of solution. Okay, they that are there, but this is one of the tragedy. So what is the need of this particular? We generally talk about green SCM also in this context, in case of supply chain sustainability, and why there is a need of this thing. I think one should be socially responsible. This is benefit for the organization, eco-friendly practices, and increasing awareness in stakeholder as well as customers, uh, evolving customer and client demand, response to increasing fuel prices, and that is why you are moving towards alternative solutions. Obviously, there are a few benefits. If you are following supply chain sustainability, then there are benefits to your organization. Obviously, some cost has to be paid either by you or other by customers. But there are benefits more than that. So these are the list of those benefits. Either these benefits in terms of lowering cost, increasing efficiency, brand reputation, employee morale, and ultimately the ethics. So these are few benefits also. So it's all from my side, and I think hope you understand this session and hope you understand the concept of supply chain sustainability here. And we'll meet with some other videos on supply chain and logistics management. And it's all from my side. Goodbye and take care.